that they're going to move out of the number 2 pick. I think they'll move down. I wouldn't rule out them moving up.
All right, Chris, moving up. Wow, look, you can't just drop that one out the door. Okay,
I'm just putting it out there.
What would it take for them to move up?
I have no idea, Trey. I have no idea. But it's not like the Giants are unwilling to move up or give up future first-round draft picks to get their franchise quarterback, as we saw what they did in 2000.
That was Chris Canty on Golic and Wingo this morning, saying not to rule out the Giants trading up to the number 1 pick to take Sam Darnold. We welcome him now into the show, former Dallas Cowboy, of course, Chris Canty. Why, Chris, do you think the Giants might trade up for Darnold?
Well, hold it before Chris Canty speaks.
I'm talking to Chris here. I'm not
satisfied with your introduction.
Nope.
This man here is one of the great radio hosts in New York City. You treat him with the respect and deference he deserves.
I said former Dallas Cowboy. You could be no higher honor.
Go ahead, Chris.
Here's what I'm going to say, Stephen A. I know some people in the organization, they don't want to go back to that time period where they were moving on from Phil Simms and they didn't have a franchise quarterback in place. It was a decade where the Giants only made the playoffs 3 times before, in 2004, ultimately drafted Eli Manning. So I know there's some concern about not having a successor for Eli Manning in place and recognizing how old Eli is and the fact that he's under contract through 2019. Realistically, you're only going to have him for a couple of more seasons. It makes sense to try to be aggressive about finding your next franchise quarterback.
Last time I checked, Chris Canty also worked for the New York Giants, played with the New York Giants, and I think that one would argue he had far more success with them than he ever had with the Cowboys. But let's get to this, Chris. I'm thinking of the mindset that Saquon Barkley has been universally ballyhooed as the best talent in the NFL draft. Combining that with Eli Manning having about 2 to 3 more years in some people's eyes, based off of what you're saying, are you telling me that the Giants really believe this could be the last season for Eli Manning?
Well, what I'm saying is it doesn't make sense to take Saquon Barkley at the 2nd overall pick. We just saw the New York Jets move up from 6 to 3 with the Indianapolis Colts in hopes of being able to land one of those quarterbacks. The teams that are aggressively trying to get in the top 5 of this draft, they're moving up for quarterbacks. They're not moving up for position players like Saquon Barkley or Quentin Nelson or Bradley Chubb. So if you recognize that, if you're the Giants, you can trade back, get value, and still get your guy and acquire more assets.
Right, Chris.
And with a team that has a lot of holes to fill, that makes sense.
Chris, I agree with that, trading back, because if 3 second-round picks get you from 6 to 3, and now Saquon Barkley will be there, it looks like. The Browns are going to have to draft a quarterback. I love the Giants taking Saquon because you put him with Odell. You have an answer to Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown and Ben Roethlisberger with Eli. Plus, they have Evan Ingram. They can have that kind of dynamic offense potentially. But wouldn't it make more sense, instead of trading up, to trade down? I mean, if you traded with Buffalo for the 12th pick, what would it take to move up 10 spots? A first rounder, a second rounder? Like, the Giants could replenish the whole thing in one move, couldn't they?
You're right. If they trade back to 12 with Brandon Beane in the Buffalo Bills, you could get 12, you could get 22, and potentially Buffalo's next first-round draft pick next year. So it makes sense just according to your philosophy. But if you move back to 12, you're probably got to put yourself outside of that range where you can get one of those blue-chip prospects like a Bradley Chubb, Saquon Barkley, or Quentin Nelson. Realistically, I think Denver would probably be the team that you target at 5. It would make sense because John Elway has let it be known that he's trying to get one of these quarterbacks in this draft class. So I would look at that place as a place that the Giants
and you could still get Baker Mayfield, right, Chris? I mean, he's probably going to be there at 5 if you traded back. He might be the best quarterback in the draft.
Well, a lot of people are saying that, but I don't think those people are at 1925 Giants drive. So, I mean, here's the thing. I think they only have a conviction on one quarterback. And I don't know who that quarterback is. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's probably Sam Darnold because he has the least amount of questions. But from what I'm told, the Giants only like one quarterback in this draft class.